Shalom. Shalom and welcome. I say shalom as in a greetings to welcome you to this series. This is Extinction Protocols. Extinction Protocols, a series of messages regarding preparing for transitions. It is a message. It represents a series of messages to those who I believe are truly those who will be among the ranks of the 144,000, of whom I believe also represents the true olive trees, true Yasharal, commonly known as Israel. And believe it or not, the multitude, or as I state, golden lampstands. And I know that there are some of you who will probably think I'm mixing one part of scripture with another when you see the definition of golden lampstands in Revelation 1:20. But pray and seek to discern whether golden lampstands could also be reflective of the multitude mentioned in the 7th chapter of Revelation. These words that I present are to those who seek to do the will of the Almighty Father Yahuwah and accept Yahushua as Mashiach, as Messiah. Today is May 20th, 2014. If you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Symmanayah, and this segment of Extinction Protocol is entitled Managing Grief and Disappointment. But let me do a sidebar for a second. I was compelled to use the word Extinction Protocols because if there was not intervention from the Most High Father, it is my belief that mankind, or man, and every living creature would possibly be extinct inside 20 to 25 years, given the rate of degradation, given the rate of increased drought, famine, pestilence, and disease, and given the rate of degradation as it relates to our atmosphere or global warming, specifically as it relates to rising CO2 levels and methane gas. With that said, my brothers and sisters, it is my belief that there will be a return of a Messiah, my Messiah. It is my belief that there will be the fulfillment of a plan that the Almighty Father has set forth, and that no man can come to him except through our Messiah, our Mashiach, Yahushua. With that stated, today is May 20th, unless I've mentioned that already, forgive me, 2014. My name is Symmanayah, and this segment is entitled Managing Grief and Disappointment. Allow me to define the word protocol as I do with the opening of each of this series messages. Protocol, a system of rules that explain the correct conduct and procedures to be followed in formal situations. I ask you, will there be a final exodus? Are we approaching an end-time event? If so, through the orders and command, could the orders and commands from the Most High be described as formal situations? This new series will provide necessary information as it relates to protocols, as it relates to man's extinction. Or yes, it could be said another way. It could be worded as man's transition. Pray and watch. My brothers and sisters, in this segment, I want to present to you the following scriptures, and then I want to echo or mention or ask many questions. And I invite you to pray and ponder on these questions and seek out answers from the Most High. Seek to discern and understand the relevance of these questions and whether they are pertinent to you, to your journey or not. 1 Chronicles 16:11 says, Seek Yahuwah in his strength, seek his face continually. Psalm 27:4 says, One matter I asked of Yahuwah, this I seek, to dwell in the house of Yahuwah all the days of my life, to see the pleasantness of Yahuwah and to inquire in his hekel, or temple, as some may say. Proverbs 8:17 say, I love those who love me, and those who earnestly seek me do find me. Proverbs 28:5 read, Evil men do not understand right ruling, but those who seek Yahuwah understand all. Isaiah 55:6 says, Seek Yahuwah while he is to be found. Call on him while he is near. Matthew 7:7 reads, and ask, and it shall be given to you. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened to you. Lamentations 3:40 reads, let us search and examine our ways and turn back to Yahuwah. My brothers and sisters, can we not agree that in order to seek, at some point it would require questions being asked? Can we not agree that questions are important? If you are in agreement with me, consider these questions as we move into this segment, again entitled Managing Grief and Disappointment. I pray that you're able to be patient as this segment unfolds. Let us begin with the questions. 1. Have you made a commitment to pursue righteousness? 2. Do you seek to do the will of the Most High Father Yahuwah? And have you accepted Yahushua as Mashiach, as our Messiah? 3. Have you come to pursue a living relationship with the one whom you have chosen to worship and obey? 4. Do you expect changes in your life as well as the lives of others who desire to grow into maturity? Do you desire to grow into maturity? 5. Will everyone be accepting of your decision to pursue righteousness, or our decision to pursue righteousness? 6. Are there loved ones in our lives, in your life? 7. Do you have close friends, associates, work peers, colleagues, neighbors, fellowship partners, etc.? Are there anyone that you consider to be close to you? 8. Do the scriptures mention that there will come division even within one's own household? 9. Have you come to believe that Revelation 3:19, which states the Most High Father disciplined those whom he loved? Do you believe this to be true? Are you familiar with the 12th chapter of Hebrews, which also informs us how the Almighty Father disciplined those whom he considers his children? 10. Is it not written in scriptures that our bodies are vessels of which the Spirit of the Most High Father, the Spirit of Yahushua, dwells within us? Is it possible that just as the Most High Father used individuals in times past, he can and will use people today to deliver his words, his orders, his commands? 11. Are you aware there were times harsh words were delivered that led to many people's death, and that a servant of the Most High Father was ordered to deliver such hard and harsh words, and out of obedience did such? 12. Have you considered that it is not our responsibility to dictate what words are presented to us and how one should deliver a message to us? And my brothers and sisters, I'm mentioning this because many people say, well, you shouldn't have told it to me like that. You didn't say it right. Should have said it this way. The question is, were the words true? Regardless of our emotions and feelings, were the words true? All too often we get into debates and argument on how the words were delivered. If we are walking in obedience, let us deliver any message, any words, as precisely guided by the Most High, by the Spirit of Yahushua. Let us come away from trying to correct someone after the words have been mentioned, if they are indeed true, without asking and seeking the purpose of the delivery of such words. Unless we are led to reprove the way it was delivered, let us accept it and press forward. 14. Will there be famine, drought, pestilence, and disease during end times? If so, how bad do you honestly believe things will get? Are you aware that scriptures mention during our weakness, the Spirit of Yahushua is made strong within us, at least those who pursue righteousness? Can there be drought, which means fresh water shortage, without famine, food shortages following? In other words, no water, no food. Are you aware that in drought-stricken areas, pestilence tend to increase, resulting in disease erupting and spreading? Do you believe people will ultimately begin to fight over fresh water and food? What do you think will happen if people started starving or dehydrating beyond measure? What do you think people will do when they can't find a morsel of bread especially if they believe you might possess some water or food. Are you aware that fighting has already begun throughout the planet regarding fresh water and food? 19. When violence becomes widespread and economies begin to collapse because of severe food shortage, keep in mind, you can't eat gold, diamonds, monies, or precious rubies or stones. You cannot eat things other than what is grown by living elements such as fruits and vegetables and nuts or livestock. My brothers and sisters, is it possible people will begin to run to and fro frantically trying to find food and fresh water to survive? Is it highly possible that there will be massive panic, that roadways, highways, railways, airports, and possibly even waterways may become extremely congested with people trying to get to close love, trying to discover and find loved ones, trying to find shelter, trying to find a safe place, trying to find food or water? Is it highly possible that we would face congestion? 20. Have you considered in the midst of what will happen regarding extreme food shortages and water shortage? Do you think it would be better to be more proactive than to wait till chaos breaks out and millions of people started running to and fro? Is it possible if we wait too late, it can make a difference, a life or death difference, and it can make for difficulty trying to get to a safe place? 21. Is it highly possible that chaos and violence could erupt suddenly and cause many people to start scrambling frantically trying to determine what must be done? Are you aware we are not on our schedule? 22. Do you honestly believe it will be easy trying to round up family members or get with loved ones and or determine the right course of action? Do you honestly believe that it'll be easy and that it will not come with severe challenges? 23. Is it possible communications such as cell phones, internet, and or landlines could be down, non-functional, as a result of congested airways with millions trying to reach out to loved ones, whether it be through voice or text or through the internet in some other fashion? Who has considered what is soon to come regarding end times and the extreme humbling conditions that will follow? Have you embraced the possibility of a final exodus? If so, where? Do you believe the scriptures regarding an emergence of 144,000 with 12,000 from each of the tribes of Yasharal? Do you believe the scriptures to be true? Do you believe that true Yasharal, commonly known as Israel, will become visible? 27. Do the scriptures foretell of a great multitude from every nation, kindred, and tongue, having washed their robes in the blood of the Lamb, who will come out of the great tribulation? 28. Is it possible the 144,000 and multitude will be together? Will this group make up those who will be among the ranks of the final Exodus? And though it says 144,000 and multitude, could it be that they would be a remnant when you compare it to 7.2 billion, roughly, that's on the planet? 29. Do you honestly believe those who will be in the ranks of the final Exodus will be without leadership? Do you honestly believe the Spirit of Yahushua will not send chosen leaders to guide us? Do you truly believe in the midst of competition among leaders, those vying to try to be the ones who should be leading, do you truly believe that the Most High Father will not prove those who truly represent His chosen leadership? 30. Is it highly possible that decisions, commands, orders will come from the Spirit of Yahushua? Is it possible that as a result this will step on some toes, so to speak, putting it mildly? In other words, will there be commands and orders that will force submission to His will, to His commands, to His ways? My brothers and sisters, there are many questions, but ponder on these. I want to invite you to consider replaying this segment, at least the 30 questions or more that were presented. Of course, it was more than 30, although I numbered them as 30. My brothers and sisters, I was once told by an individual that I ask a lot of questions, but do not provide the scriptures, as though asking questions was wrong, weak, or of no substance. I submit to you, questions spark curiosity, and it could be stated that out of questions comes the results of one seeking. Ponder on these questions, pray on these matters, and you just may find discoveries of which are important during these end times. End times will bring the most extreme challenges and will produce times of destruction for those who get in the way of what is to be fulfilled. End times will bring a time of many deaths. Well over 3.6 billion people, men, women, and children, will die. Yes, will die. And in some cases, we will know some of these individuals. If you doubt these words, read Revelation chapter 6:8 and Revelation 9:18. Some think this is referencing the same thing, but one is pertaining to a seal, while another is pertaining to another point in time during the tribulation where a trumpet was blown. Consider doing the math, starting from the reference point of roughly 7.2 billion. And if you're successful, you will come to realize that well over 3.6 billion people will die. They will be killed. They will die. While many prefer to dismiss these matters or embrace the belief that these events are so far down the road, down the line, they are not worth giving consideration, soon what seems to be distance will appear to be close. My brothers and sisters, a time of coming away, a time of purging, a time of reproof and discipline will prove to produce pain and regret among those walking the planet during these end times. We will face trying to discover the best methods for managing grief and disappointment. As times get intense, we will witness betrayal even from those within our household, fellowship groups, and or specific camps. As conditions intensify, especially regarding food shortages and water shortage, it will prove to be a time of trying, a time of refining, and a time of much humility. We will learn how it is important to learn, adjust, and adapt to managing grief and disappointment. Our emotions will be high, whether you can accept it or not. It is a time of uncertainty and many fears, even among those who are our brothers and sisters. We are approaching the time where our final exodus and or assignments for those who will be martyrs for the reign of Yahushua will become clear. We are commanded, yes, ordered, to look straight, to focus on the living instructions, guidance, reproof, discipline, and right rulings from the Spirit of Yahushua. We will come to witness the Spirit of Yahushua within us, one towards another, through his chosen leaders and or through his sent messengers. Prepare, my brothers and sisters, the time for bracing, to learn what is right. The time of reproof, the time of discipline, the time of judgment is at hand. The time to learn what is meant by managing grief and disappointment is at hand. Choose wisely as end times continue to unfold and demands become more pressing. For some, you may never get another chance to make the right decision. A storm is coming, and it will intensify with each passing moment. The 144,000 and multitude, true olive trees and golden lampstands are being refined. Let us begin to accept those who will be among the ranks of the final gathering, those who will be among our final exodus. Let us come to accept that we cannot avoid facing times of managing grief and disappointment. We will come to experience the same fortitude that Noah had to press forward in the wake of the great flood when all others who were not on the ark died. And we will learn the courage and strength that Lot possessed in order to move beyond the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah as we come to these final hours, as we approach the return of our Messiah. Humbling conditions and events will prove these words to be true. Let us take heed to living instructions and guidance, my brothers and sisters. Let us be mindful of the warnings. Yes, warnings will seem repetitive, redundant. Yes, these messages will sound familiar to you, whether they came from my mouth or another. Messages that originate from the Most High Father will continue till they have succeeded in what they were tasked to do. I am a strong believer of Isaiah 55:11. I pray, my brothers and sisters, that anything that comes out my mouth that is confirmed to be righteous, that the Spirit of Yahushua gets all credit and esteem, that through my worship and obedience, He is lifted up, and it is through Him that He will draw all men and present us before the Almighty Father Yahuwah. Until next time, my brothers and sisters, continue to stay tuned as this series, Extinction Protocols, continues, preparing for transitions. Until next time, be encouraged. Shalom. Shalom. Shalom.